This is the trash of this time, a classic Sung Jin-woo look-alike loser with some crazy mental challenges. He sees every woman as a pig. He also sees men as pigs, but no guy is gonna cry about that. Would you care if your boys had pig faces? Exactly. Like when he saves this dumb but thick babe in the forest and she beautifully jumps to hug him, but that's the face he sees. Or that blue-haired angry mommy from his childhood who did a full 180 the second she found out his awakened talent was trash. The white-stocking queen he also met in the forest. Even the thickest teacher of them all. He sees all of them with pig faces. No matter how much your little head screams, yes, your big head is yelling, no. But I gotta ask the real men watching this video, if I handed you one paper bag right now, would you do it? Cause my bro Ye Chuan is actually thinking twice. He went to the doctor to figure out his pig head seeing disease, and this gigantic-hearted doctor lady welcomes him in. She couldn't believe he was seeing her as a pig, so she asks once again if all he can see is a pig girl. Bro just hits her with a crack addict yes face. She stares, smiles, then starts prepping an attack that would leave Goku stunned. My man's sweating bullets, while the devil keeps applying pressure. But when the attack finally comes, all he sees is two gigantic circular pig faces. Now I'm asking y'all one more time, would you do it? Are you taking the risk, walking the darkest path just to discover the truth? Or is this where your undying will finally dies? Cause my bro Yi Chuan straight up dropped the truth on her. She flinched back instantly, went full professional mode again, and explained he actually has a spine problem. But this dude is so mentally regarded he hits her with, "Can you give me my spine back?" Poor doctor could only think what a waste. A handsome guy like him fighting mind battles like this. He leaves, gets on the bus, and looks around. Everyone packed in. It's like how the billionaires see the world. Pigs crumpled in a sardine can. Is that a social criticism in my Chinese brain rot? I don't know. But I do know we're now at the awakening ceremony and the girls showed up in straight-up nightclub outfits. Then this blue-haired cute bimbo babe comes to say hi, but look at the paws. Yup, pig too. Would you? She's all over my bro, who's more confused than anything. Even when she drives his arms into a double-sided fireball attack, the other guys are jealous as hell. And at this point, if every girl is a pig, I'm becoming a Chinese pork eater too. Better to thrive than starve, you feel me. Then the old man shouts, "Go, you unemployed bunch, the ceremony is about to start. Let us get a profession." Here's how it works. You all know that in this world you learn about strength, spirit, and agility. During the ceremony, put everything you have into it because I want to see your talent here at the academy. Now come and put your hand on the old man's stone. Go on, muscle guy, I want to see what you get. The big guy touches it and gets an intermediate life profession, blacksmith. Yeah, you can make money, maybe. But judging by how he almost swallowed his own hand, it does not look good. The second one touches it and collapses. He awakens an advanced healer. Healer is good. Look at the other one, junior engineer crying. Lloyd Frontera changed the world with that profession. The last fool, orange hair, all hesitant. This one is definitely going to be good. The artist would not give him Naruto hair for nothing. He puts his hand on the old man's stone and instantly awakens a rare tier combat profession, bladeless, shadowless man. Everyone goes crazy. The old man asks student, "What is your name?" The student replies, "My name is Liu Jinglong." The old man says, "What an incredible name. Now go rest. I will personally visit your home to discuss your future path." That sounds weird. Why visit students' homes? Liu Jinglong waves, saying thanks, old timer. Now it is the next one, Yi Chuan. As the protagonist walks up awkwardly, Ling Chuan says, "Go, brother Yi Chuan, good luck." The director looks at him thinking this guy is kind of crazy, but his attributes are insanely high. Normally someone his age has 3 combined attributes, but this guy has 10, which is more than triple, so I have some hope. The protagonist puts his hand on the stone, energy starts expanding, lightning everywhere. Everyone is shocked, asking what is going on. The director shouts that is golden light. Smoke fills the place, and the protagonist says, "What the hell is this?" From the energy, it already looks like divine tier, but what appears is a daily profession. Divine pig slayer. It says divine at least. The old man pauses, pig slayer. Everyone starts laughing, saying it is impossible, it must be a mistake. How can a profession be divine and also this useless? You cannot even say the kid is lucky, even with a high rank awakening. Everyone laughs and the director feels awkward. I have been director here for years, and this is the first time I see someone awaken a divine tier profession, and it has to be a useless pig slayer. If it were divine, it should be blacksmith, healer, or alchemist. He could change the world. As they say, the bigger the hope, the bigger the disappointment. I thought this child had a future, but this awakening is absolute trash. Then as he goes to speak to the protagonist, something materializes in front of him. It is the good old system talking to me. Yi Chuan, profession skill, Blood Moon Slayer. Deals 50% more damage to pigs, and for every pig killed, this bonus increases by 1%. Pigs also deal half damage to him. On top of that, the God Slayer blade can designate any weapon as a pig-killing weapon. Every pig killed with it gives 0.1 attribute. The protagonist stares, not fully understanding. But one thing catches his attention, 50% bonus against pigs. Maybe being crazy is not so bad. He says this while staring at the sea of pigs laughing at him. He leaves the stage as everyone laughs. Liu Jinglong says, "I thought Qingcheng Academy produced a true dragon, but it is just a pig slayer. What an idiot." A bystander agrees, saying what a mentally ill profession. Xu Lingshuan approaches to talk. As always, I admire an artist who uses low angles. Thank you. She says it is okay, brother Ye Chuan. Oh, okay, you are not going to betray my friend, are you? She even pats his head. You awaken a divine pig slayer. You are basically following your parents' footsteps. The guys are like, damn, this bastard awakened such a weird talent, and he still has the girl stuck to him. She is blushing, saying my uncle is going to be very happy and your father too. Yi Chuan comments that this girl has been his neighbor since they were kids. Both of their parents have lifestyle professions and tried for a long time to keep them close to each other. That is why they have this years-long bond that no one there understands. Then the teacher says, come on, Ling Xuan, it is your turn. Brother Ye Chuan, now it is my turn to follow my mother or maybe my father, and I want to stand by your side. Ye Chuan says, all right, then go ahead. She walks up and slaps her hand onto the big stone. Suddenly, the entire sky turns blue and an aura descends into the middle of the arena. The girl eyes almost pop out and the director mouth drops open. What appears is a legendary tier combat profession, Snow Soul of the Mortal Sword. The director is in shock, a legendary combat profession. Wait, her parents both have normal talents, so this must be some strange mutation. She is already looking proud with aura all around her. The director tone changes immediately. Oh, Ling Xuan, what talent. If you need anything, come talk to the academy and we will provide it. His look is totally different as she walks down with her hand on her waist. The gossip girls are already curious. So now that Ling Xuan awakens something better than Yi Chuan, will she still stick to him like before? The friend next to her says she doubts it. The smartest thing Ling Xuan can do is distance herself from a loser like him. The protagonist is stuck in his mental challenge mode, congratulating everyone sarcastically. Then her expression changes and she calls Yi Chuan. I admit there were some misunderstandings between us, but from now on, let us make everything clear. We are no longer people of the same world. The protagonist is zoning out while Jinglong says, you lost, idiot. Yi Chuan replies, all right, then thanks. She clears her throat. Yi Chuan, stop pretending you are fine. You are just a pig slayer. You will never achieve anything in life, so stop blaming me. She is giving that speech trying to be cute and rude at the same time, but the protagonist only sees a pig talking about goals and nonsense. He does not care and walks away saying, finally, one less pig head in my life. That is it, I am leaving. Jinglong walks over, asking Ling Xuan if he should show him the reality of their strength. She does not really respond, looking conflicted. Then someone shouts, calling Yi Chuan trash pig slayer. The protagonist ignores it and keeps walking. The guy grabs his arm, asking if he is deaf. Yi Chuan looks at him, and the guy almost wets himself. He falls back terrified, saying, for a second, I felt like a pig about to be slaughtered. Everyone at the academy starts laughing at him while his friend asks, what happened? Why are you shaking? He gets furious and shouts that Yi Chuan will not mess with him like that again and throws a punch. Yi Chuan does not hesitate and punches back fist to fist. Jinglong finger breaks and he screams in pain while everyone is confused. How is a guy with a combat profession losing to someone who awakened Pig Slayer? Yi Chuan says, if I have to kill pigs, then of course my hands are strong enough to hold knives, so it makes sense. People say that logic kind of makes sense. Jinglong shouts that he will kill him and pulls out his blade. The ugliest girl screams, saying he pulled his sword, it is over. He points it, saying, I was avoiding drawing my void blade that can cut even steel cables, but enough, I will cripple you now. Suddenly, snowflakes appear, and he freezes in place. He looks back, asking Ling Xuan why she is helping him. She tells him to stop right now. She does not want to see them fight so brutally over her. Then she says, Yi Chuan, you have to face reality. We are no longer from the same world. This is the last time I will help you, and you can see it as a gift for everything we shared. Now leave Qing Cheng Academy, because if Jinglong attacks you again, I will not be able to help. He yawns, saying this is boring, and leaves. Everyone wonders why he does not look worried at all. On the way home, he walks with his head down when an ugly dog with an even uglier owner appears. He looks, and both the dog and the woman have pig heads. He says, Miss, your dog is biting my pants and blocking my way. She snaps, saying, is this street yours? Young people these days have no compassion for animals. He sighs, saying, all right, I wanted to test something anyway. He kicks the dog and it dies. She screams about her dog. The system gives him 1 point of damage and the dog goes to the next life. Yi Chuan says it worked. The woman attacks, screaming, you murderer, you killed my child. As she reaches him, he says, I am a psychopath. I was just diagnosed with severe mental illness. She trembles and says, forget it. It was just a dog. There are many animals in this world. Goodbye, young man. Yi Chuan goes home. His father asks, so you awakened as a pig slayer? He nods. The father laughs, saying, you really followed your father's path. We are an honest family. It is better than fighting and killing people. That leads nowhere. Soon I will take you to the slaughterhouse so you can learn everything. That sounds like a great idea, because if he keeps killing pigs, he will level up fast. That is clearly what the author wanted. Night falls and the protagonist's pajamas are adorable pig pajamas. While the pig sleeps, a shadow appears. It is his father talking from the doorway, saying, you already know my son is just a pig butcher, so do not interfere with our lives again. A man in a hat replies, I never imagined the son of Ghost Cry would be just a butcher. When is he really your biological son? The father stands up, warning him not to interfere again or he will not be polite. The man disappears, saying if your son is just a butcher, then the organization will not cause trouble. The next day they arrive at the slaughterhouse. Passing the curtain, the father says a good butcher must choose a good knife. Go pick the one that feels best in your hand. Yi Chuan grabs one, saying this one feels good. The system announces the pig-killing blade has been selected, and each pig killed with it gives 0.1 attribute. The father says the first step of being a butcher is learning how to use it. The pig struggles, making pig noises. The father tells him to aim for the weak spot and kill it. The goal is one clean cut, a proper slaughter. He delivers the first deep slash and the pig rolls its eyes. You killed a normal pig and your level increased by 1%. Your damage against pigs also increased by 1% and you gained 0.1 attribute. The father praises him but is sweating nervously, saying, well, the only issue is that your cut was not precise enough. I thought he killed it in one strike, but he needed another. The father explains he has to aim for the carotid in the neck so the animal dies instantly. The protagonist replies, yeah, okay. The father pats him and says, son, I know the pig butcher profession looks boring and repetitive for someone your age, but this is the profession that feeds our family. The protagonist looks like he wants to jump into the pen and kill all the pigs. The father laughs and says, my boy, do you really want to do your uncle's work too? They would be very grateful. Another cut, more experience, more pig bonus, more attributes. Then another cut. Before long, the kid has cleared an entire row in the warehouse. The system notifies him that he now has 100% extra damage and his attributes went from 10 to 15. A worker says, hey boss, is that badass kid your son? He looks kind of addicted to killing pigs. He finished our whole week of work already. Is he not a bit too excited? The father laughs and says, you do not know this kid is a divine butcher. Yi Chuan thinks he is starting to feel really comfortable with the pig slayer blade. Maybe it is time to leave this place and see the outside world. The next day he heads out. In this world, there are many monsters, and these ones are ugly as hell. Humanity no longer has separate nations. Everyone united into federations across 9 districts. Qingsheng sits on the edge of District 5. That edge is exactly where he is now leaving the city. It kind of feels like New World. As he walks out, a knight stops him, saying, stop there, kid, your profession is a life type. If you leave the city, you will die. Yi Chuan ignores him completely and walks into the forest. While moving between the trees, something shakes the bushes and an ugly goblin jumps out with a pig nose. Yi Chuan never knows exactly what creature it is since they all have pig heads, but by the color, it is probably a goblin. First, he tests the pig slayer's shadow effect that makes enemies feel threatened. It only works on pigs. The goblin trembles. 1 slash to the neck. Another pig dead and 5% experience gained. He realizes he can farm any creature. Then he remembers a teacher once said, if you ever see a goblin, never lower your guard because they move in large groups. Surrounded now, he decides it is time to level up hard. Goblins rush him screaming and he slashes neck after neck with his pig slayer. The last one is shaking in fear, while Yi Chuan says, come on kid, we are just getting started. The goblin runs away and Yi Chuan follows it to the goblin cave. He enters with a psychopathic expression. Goblin screams echo and soon everything is dead on the ground. Even Goblin Slayer would be jealous. Yi Chuan now has 25 attributes. A normal person has 3 total, so he keeps leveling non-stop. While checking his stats, he hears something behind him. He turns and kicks open a wooden door. Inside, he finds a woman restrained, unable to move. A goblin nearby chants, milk, milk. She is crying desperately, screaming for help. Yi Chuan raises his cleaver and cuts. The goblins are dead and the ropes fall. Everything is exposed, but he crouches and says, stop screaming, all the goblins are dead, idiot. She realizes they are dead and clings to him, thanking him for saving her. Yi Chuan asks, who are you? I did not come here to save you. Are you crazy? They walk through the corridor and she asks, did you kill all those goblins? Your combat profession must be amazing. What is your name? Yi Chuan keeps walking, says his name is Yi Chuan, and they exit the cave. He tells her, go that way and you will reach the city. They walk through the forest, but she keeps following him. He turns and asks, why are you following me? Were you spying on goblins? She says, what kind of logic is that? Obviously not. I am just scared to go back alone. Yi Chuan says, fine, then what is your name? His mental illness clearly affects him. She says her name is Xiananan. Her mother's birthday is in a few days and she wanted the blood moon flower as a gift, but she never expected to be captured by goblins. She suggests a deal. If he helps her find the flower, she will get the best blacksmith in Qingsheng to forge him a new knife because his is already worn out. Yi Chuan ignores her and says, you have no idea how expensive it is to make a knife. Stop lying, I am leaving, and if you do not disappear, I will cut you. She gets angry thinking she is a great beauty and cannot believe this kid is so cold. She says he must have something wrong in his head. She keeps following and says, you do not know who my father is. His name is Xia Beihai. Yi Chuan stops and thinks. Beihai is one of the four great families of Qinsheng, and Xia Beihai is a ninth-rank master close to transcending. He turns and asks if she is serious. If that is her father, then money would not be an issue for a top-tier knife. She shows him a family protection amulet as proof. It protected her, and that is why the goblins could capture her but not hurt her. Yi Chuan steps closer, inspecting it carefully, then steps back. He agrees to help her find the flower in exchange for a high-quality knife. She happily agrees and pulls out a map she bought elsewhere. She points out the Blood Moon flower location near an extremely dangerous python. Yi Chuan asks if such a giant python really exists. She says yes, and even she as a ninth-rank apprentice could not deal with it. Yi Chuan says he is excited to see a really big python. Nanan wonders if he even listens. But he killed an entire goblin cave, so maybe his profession is insane. Yi Chuan tells her to lead the way. Nanan feels strange. He feels extremely reliable and completely unreliable at the same time. That perfectly describes him. Hiding in thick bushes, she warns him that is a horned rhinoceros monster and he must not provoke it. When it gets angry, its strength rivals an 8th rank apprentice. She suggests leaving quietly. Yi Chuan stands up and she asks, "What are you doing? That monster is herbivorous and will not attack you, Yi Chuan." However, he pulls out the knife and says if today it eats grass, tomorrow it eats people. She thinks this logic makes absolutely no sense, but he charges anyway. Cleaver out a fast sequence to the head, neck, belly, and it is done. The beast drops dead. Blood sprays everywhere, and Nanan asks, did it really die? The system notifies him that his damage bonus has reached 122%. The only problem Yi Chuan has now is that the knife is pretty worn out. She asks Yi Chuan, what kind of profession do you have? He answers it is just a normal daily profession, I am a butcher. She stares and says no way a butcher could kill something like that in one strike. Yi Chuan ignores her, cuts off the horn, and says, nah, I think it was just old and weak, that is why it died. She nods and says fine, then let us hurry and find the flower, while thinking there is definitely something wrong with this kid. They move through the forest, and in another area they run into the director Ling Xuan and Lu Jinglong. The director says today training went very well. I am proud of all of you. Jinglong keeps staring at Ling Xuan. Suddenly the director senses movement and says someone is coming. That is when they see Yi Chuan and Nanan. Jinglong laughs, asking what he is doing there. Yi Chuan says he is just taking a walk. Jinglong thinks, do you think I am stupid walking in the forest? Another girl sneers and says walking looks more like you could not forget Sister Ling Xuan and came here to spy on her. Yi Chuan does not react, but he sees the pig-faced Ling Xuan staring at him, saying, I thought I made it clear we live in different worlds, now stop following me. Jinglong laughs loudly. He asks Yi Chuan how he dared to show up again and draws his blade, saying now you will regret it. Someone shouts, oh no, he drew a yellow rank blade. What can Yi Chuan do now? The director is impressed, saying Jinglong reached 4th rank apprentice in just days and even has a spiritual blade. This boy has a future. Ling Xuan stands with her hand on her waist, saying she will not help this time since she already warned him. Nanan whispers, asking why these people hate him so much. Yi Chuan ignores it and asks how much a spiritual weapon costs. She says far more than 100,000 and that he should focus on surviving right now. Jinglong is furious, saying last time this bastard stole the spotlight, but this time will be different. He attacks and Yi Chuan calmly blocks with his small knife. The director is shocked, while Jinglong shouts that he will show real strength and shatters the knife. Jinglong laughs and mocks him, saying, you think your pig slayer profession can do anything. The director thinks a normal blade cannot withstand a spiritual one. Yi Chuan should not have provoked him. He considers stopping the fight. Yi Chuan throws the broken knife away and says, I do not need that to deal with you. Jinglong snaps and charges again. Yi Chuan steps in and punches him hard in the stomach, sending him flying. Jinglong collapses while his friends rush to help. He keeps saying he is fine while thinking, why am I almost passing out from one punch? The director asks, Yi Chuan, have you already reached apprentice level 7? Yi Chuan ignores him, picks up the spiritual blade and looks at it, saying this one looks nice. Someone whispers, you really think he leveled that much? Even Ling Xuan with legendary talent is not that strong. The director explains it is possible because life professions and combat professions level very differently. Combat professions need hard training and real battles, so growth is slow early but accelerates later. Life professions can focus fully on their work like forging or slaughtering, so leveling is easier early. Yi Chuan probably killed pigs non-stop. Ling Xuan complains that he is just relying on base stats and that it is unfair. The director tells her to calm down, explaining that every time Yi Chuan levels, the required amount doubles, so eventually he will need an absurd number, while combat professions will surpass him. A student asks, so you were saying the guy who beat Jinglong today will soon be dominated? The director says exactly. Yi Chuan nods, saying, yeah, you are right, thanks everyone, I am leaving now. Ling Xuan calls out asking why he does this, killing pigs desperately just to show off, and says she was admitted to the Sky Dome Academy and keeps talking. Yi Chuan looks exhausted like Saitama. Nanan steps in, saying enough, she will not watch this anymore. She explains Yi Chuan is helping her find the Blood Moon flower and meeting them was pure coincidence. The girls whisper that another girl is interested in Yi Chuan now that Ling Xuan is not. One jokes that his real talent is attracting women. Nanan slaps them hard and even hits the director by accident. He asks, why did I get slapped too? I did not say anything. Yi Chuan watches thinking, wow, this one is crazy too. Ling Xuan gets angry asking if she really dared to do that and starts threatening her. Nanan pulls out her family crest and says she is waiting for them to touch her. The director panics and tells Ling Xuan not to move. Now it makes sense this girl is from the Xia family. He quickly asks what brings Miss Xia to this forest. Nanan says it does not matter. She goes wherever she wants and adds that his academy students are clearly below standard. He awkwardly agrees and promises to review admissions and discipline everyone. She demands Ling Xuan apologize to Ye Chuan. Ling Xuan is stunned, wondering why a Xia family girl is siding with him. Funny how that works now that the boy is doing well, she cannot accept it and it hurts even more. The director speaks up and says, Ling Xuan, please apologize to the boy. Honestly, I thought she would make a whole scene, but she just turns her face away and says, sorry, Ye Chuan. Out of the corner of her eye, though, she is clearly plotting something. The Xia family just wait and see what happens next. Yi Chuan shrugs and says whatever, then adds, yeah, I really need to go, or I will miss the bus. Jinglong suddenly shouts, hey kid, you are taking my spiritual saber. Yi Chuan is already walking away, holding the saber like no one would notice. He really stole it openly, then says, fine, if you want it back, come take it from my hand, and keeps walking. Jinglong yells that he will get revenge. The scene shifts deeper into the forest. Nanan pulls out the warm map and says this area should be close to where the python lives, so they need to be careful. Since Yi Chuan switched knives, the new one is already designated as the Slayer Blade, so now he gains 0.2 attributes per kill. Nanan pulls out a few glowing spheres. Yi Chuan asks what those are. She shyly explains they are fire lightning pearls. Even someone at a high realm would be badly injured if hit by one. Yi Chuan nods and says, got it, then jumps across and immediately finds the flower. Turns out there are several. His expression changes because the python is right there. He feels something watching him, and when he looks back, it is the pig-headed snake. He calmly says, hey snake, relax, I am just grabbing a flower and leaving. The snake hesitates and Yi Chuan starts backing away, saying, thanks, snake, I am going now, bye. He looks toward Nanan, who panics and throws a pearl. It explodes on the python head and Yi Chuan gets blasted away. The python looks damaged but not dead. It slips loose and seems to fall off the cliff. Yi Chuan holds out the flower and says this is for you. She screams in joy, saying it is a blood crystal flower, thank you so much. He asks what it is for, and she explains it slows aging. If she had a twin crystal flower, it could grant eternal youth. Yi Chuan thinks his mother would definitely like something like that. He jumps back across, and Nanan thinks he is getting another one for her. She smiles, thinking he is finally falling for her charm. Instead, he fills his bag, and suddenly another roar sounds as the python returns. Nanan cannot believe it survived. From afar, Ye Chuan shouts, throw another one. She yells that her father only gave her 2, so there are none left. The snake approaches, and Ye Chuan expression changes. He activates the butcher threat, and the python seems like meat on a table. Yi Chuan suddenly jumps away and yells they need to run. He grabs Nanan, who says he did not need to risk himself just for a flower. He replies, this one is for my mother. The python lunges and opens its jaws. Nanan screams that they cannot escape. Yi Chuan throws her away like a sack, and the snake bites down. She screams his name. The snake tries to swallow her too, when suddenly a blade slices from inside out. The head drops and Ye Chuan steps out covered in blood. Nanan runs over and hugs him, thanking the heavens, and then complains that he smells awful. Yi Chuan ignores it. His bonus increases again, and he gains 80% experience from killing the python. He reaches apprentice rank 8 and is closing in on 9. Later, they reach the city gate where people are waiting. Her family rushes over worried, saying she scared them half to death. Nanan happily shows the flower, saying it is for mom. Her father says she could have sent servants and never needed to leave the city. As she tries to explain, Yi Chuan steps forward. The man asks who he is. Yi Chuan introduces himself and says his profession is pig slayer. The man is confused since the flower grows near the great python and wonders why she brought a useless person. He asks if Yi Chuan fought, which makes no sense. Still, he thanks him and offers a ring worth 200,000 as a reward. Yi Chuan pushes it back and says, no, make me a butcher knife. The man is stunned, offering that much money, and the kid wants a knife. Nanan explains Yi Chuan wants the best blacksmith to forge a butcher blade. The man agrees and says she must return home first. She says goodbye, blushing. The man warns Yi Chuan not to get improper ideas about her. Yi Chuan thinks she is just another pighead, so he does not care. He says he only wants a spiritual weapon. The man nods and says there is a blacksmith in the city with strong ties to the family and promises he will get him a great weapon. The scene shifts to the forest, where someone approaches the dead python. A thin demon woman appears furious, saying that bastard killed her spirit pet and stole her herbs. She memorizes his scent and swears he will not escape. Back in the city, Yi Chuan enters a materials shop. He says he wants to sell a beast material. The clerk scoffs, asking how a skinny kid got that horn and offers 10,000. Yi Chuan thinks killing a pig gives him 100, so this equals 100 pigs, and that sounds good. He looks around and asks about a piece of armor. The clerk praises his taste and explains it is scale armor made from a fire serpent with great defense and heat and cold resistance, but it costs 150,000. Yi Chuan freezes and says, how am I supposed to buy something that expensive as a pig butcher? The woman looks at him and says, butcher kid, what are you even talking about? He slams the spiritual blade on the counter and asks, will you trade that armor for this? She jumps in shock and immediately helps him put the armor on. She says, my boy, what a perfect deal, do not worry. I will not charge you a single extra coin, this armor looks amazing on you. Inside, she is thinking, this kid must be loaded, if I seduce him, I will never worry again. She keeps fussing over him, saying a service like this would normally cost 10,000, but since he is young and handsome, she will help for free. Get off him, pig lady. She asks what profession such a talented young man has. He answers pig slayer. Her expression freezes and she says that is not a combat profession, is it? Scene switches to the protagonist arriving home and saying, Mom, this is for you. She gasps and says, my son, this is a blood crystal flower. How did you get this? Yi Chuan, are you stealing from people on the street? He awkwardly says, no, Mom, I went outside the city. There was a huge snake already lying there, so I just picked it up and brought it back. She laughs and warns him that the wilds are dangerous, and if something happened, how would a simple pig butcher family handle it? She tells him to remember they are butchers and not to take risks. He agrees. The father looks proud and says, that is my boy. Suddenly, someone demands Qiwen come out now. The father looks outside asking who it is. It is Jinglong father. He accuses Yi Chuan of stealing his son's spiritual saber. Qiwen is confused and says, Brother Liu, there must be a misunderstanding. They were childhood friends long ago but drifted apart, and Liu is now very influential. Qi Yuan insists his son is just a simple butcher and could never steal a spiritual weapon from a warrior like Jinglong. Jinglong shouts that Yi Chuan stole his weapon. Liu turns cold and accuses Qiwen of lying and raising his son poorly. He says the director already confirmed it and demands Qiwen ask his son. Qiwen asks Yi Chuan what is going on. Yi Chuan says that guy tried to kill me with the saber, so taking it was already being kind. Jinglong lies, saying they were just training, and Yi Chuan suddenly stole it. Liu orders Yi Chuan to show respect and return the saber. Yi Chuan replies that he already sold it. Everyone freezes. Chu Yuan panics, asking what his son has done. Liu explodes and demands 1 million in compensation. Chi Yuan says a low-grade spiritual weapon is worth at most 200,000. Liu glares and says he is not here to negotiate. Yi Chuan prepares to fight, but Kui Yuan stops him and agrees to pay even if it takes time. Liu warns him to teach his son manners and gives half a month before consequences. He leaves while Jinglong threatens Yi Chuan. Later, the family discusses what to do. The mother suggests begging Liu for mercy. The father plans to bring pork as an apology. Yi Chuan steps forward and says, do not worry, I will handle it. The father tells him the fault is not his and only asks him to avoid trouble and always tell them everything. Yi Chuan thinks instead about getting stronger and obtaining a spiritual weapon. His mind really does not work normally. The mother asks if he is hiding anything else and how a simple butcher got such a precious flower. Yi Chuan sighs and says he cannot hide it forever. He tells them he is not normal mentally. They ask what he means. The mother awkwardly asks if he does not like women. She reassures him the family is open-minded and will support him no matter what. The father agrees enthusiastically. This family is completely unhinged. Yi Chuan quickly clarifies that he likes women and not men, but that mentally he is not normal. He explains that everyone he sees looks like a pig. His parents stare at him, and even they look like pigs now. The father suddenly realizes that if he sees all creatures as pigs, then his butcher talents work on them. Yi Chuan confirms it. The mother realizes this means he effectively has a combat profession. The father agrees and says it makes sense. He tells Yi Chuan to come with him and learn real techniques. Scene shifts to the forest at night. The father says he has slaughtered pigs for countless years and refined his technique, and today he will pass everything on. If someone ever comes to take his life, he must be able to defend himself. Yi Chuan asks why he would teach him after he caused so much trouble and debt. Kui Wan says 1 million means nothing compared to his son's safety. He explains that the greatest truths are simple, and being a butcher is no exception. He tells Yi Chuan to watch carefully because he will only teach 3 cuts. He focuses, raises his blade, and slashes, causing the mountains to split and the moonlight to shine through space itself. Yi Chuan is stunned, thinking his father is insane strong. Xu Yuan names the first cut Falling Stars. He leaps and slashes horizontally, tearing through the moon, calling it Falling Moon. Yi Chuan asks how this is even possible. The father explains it is just spatial distortion. He then performs the third cut, rising upward in a blazing explosion, lighting the sky, and calls it Devourer of Suns. Yi Chuan asks if he really uses this to kill pigs and wonders if those pigs are celestial. The father says he does not need to understand yet and will learn in time. Yi Chuan realizes there is a reason he needs to learn this. The father then asks, "Where is your knife, kid? If you do not have it, use mine for now." The protagonist grabs it, but the thing is insanely heavy, and even with boosted strength, he drops flat on the ground. The father turns away, saying, "Go, kid. Practice, I am going back to sleep." The boy is in shock, thinking, "My God, my dad kills pigs with something this heavy." He lifts the blade, tries the star move, boom, falls again like a complete idiot. He keeps practicing while the father watches and sighs, saying, "Silly kid. One day when you reach emperor rank, you will learn that these 3 moves can kill even celestial beings." Next chapter. The boy throws the dagger up, moon cut, then collapses exhausted. But he remembers Liu, who threatened his father. He forces himself up again, falling stars, and this time it works. The ground shatters, birds scatter, and he smiles, looking at the destroyed land. He has learned the new skill, falling stars. Scene shifts to the hospital. The protagonist is in bed, and his mother asks, "Doctor, is my son okay?" Dr. 3 Piglet says he is fine but fainted from exhaustion. He has been training intensely. The mother is furious, saying that cursed Quan trained the boy until he collapsed. She will teach him a lesson when she gets home. She also wonders why the nurse is blushing so much. The doctor explains that due to lactic acid buildup, the boy did at least 1,000 squats, 1,000 push-ups, and many other exercises and ran merely 100 kilometers. The mother says that makes no sense. No human could do that in one night. The doctor admits it is hard to believe, but Yi Chuan's mental state is different. The mother storms out even angrier, saying she will kill that man. The doctor thinks any normal person would die from that much exercise. She even jokes that one-on-one all night would be needed, but the boy is already gone. Yi Chuan is already outside saying, "I really did burn a lot of energy. That move is dangerous. I need to get that knife from Zhao." Elsewhere in the city, he arrives at the Steel Heart Forge. A bearded pigman, Master Texan, looks confused and asks, "Are you Yi Chuan?" Yi Chuan nods. Texan says, "Good, then wait, Master. Zhao told me everything. I worked all night to forge the perfect blade, but you are a pig butcher. I never imagined the Xia family would pay a fortune for this. Are you their illegitimate son?" Yi Chuan reaches for the knife, but Texan stops him and says, "Be patient. This blade was forged from 1,000-year cold steel. It took 49 days to prepare. It recognizes its owner. If your strength is not enough, you will not even lift it." Yi Chuan says nothing, grabs the blade and pulls it out, shocking Taixin. Yi Chuan looks at it and says, "Wow, this is much lighter than my dad blade." Taixin is stunned, asking how is he lifting it so easily. Yi Chuan asks, "What is its name?" Taixin says it has no name yet, so you name it. Yi Chuan thinks and says, "Dragon Slayer." Taixin laughs, saying that name is cliche, a million weapons use it. Yi Chuan does not care and is already leaving, eager to test it. He needs to get out of amateur rank fast to deal with Liu Xing. At the city gate, people complain that powerful beasts are everywhere and it is dangerous just 10 steps outside. Yi Chuan hears this and his eyes light up, thinking great things to kill. In the forest, he feels watched but keeps walking. Suddenly, a knife flies from behind, but he sidesteps it. He turns and sees third-rate bandits, 9th-rank apprentices. One shouts, "Are you crazy dodging my secret attack?" The fat one agrees, saying Liu Xing is right. This guy dared leave the city and wants to die. They were sent by Jinglong father. Yi Chuan touches the blade and the system activates. With this new blade, he gains 0.3 attributes per kill. He smiles and says, "So who wants to meet Dragon Slayer?" They ask what name and he repeats it. They burst out laughing, saying he thinks he is a legendary hero. They are laughing at the wrong guy because Yi Chuan laughs even harder, saying, "No, I am not a hero. I am just a butcher testing a new knife." One tries to speak, but Yi Chuan steps in and slices his neck. "You killed a pig, gaining 1% damage and 0.3 attribute." The others freeze, asking, did he really kill him? Yi Chuan jumps away, then comes back instantly and stabs another. More experience, more attributes. The last one tries to flee but cannot see his movements. He is good at dodging, but it does not matter because the blade flies and pierces him. Brutal. More attributes. Yi Chuan pulls the blade and says, "Sadly, you chose to die." Then he does his honest looting, calling it an unexpected drop. A shadow step scroll, increasing agility by 30% for 30 seconds. Beginner stuff, but free is free. He hears footsteps and jumps into a tree. Below, a strange, many-eyed creature approaches, devouring the bodies. Yi Chuan smiles, finding the monsters amusing. Too bad they eat humans, so he cannot let them live. He activates Shadow Step, leaps branch to branch, and dives at the creature. It senses him and fires spikes from its back. Yi Chuan is pierced, but keeps going and slices it in half. He looks like a pincushion and jokes that the beast gives free acupuncture. The others stare at him. He crouches, confused just like them. He sees them trying to run, so he steps closer, glares, scares one, and cuts it down. The last one freezes and gets cut too. Honest farming. He walks away full of spikes, saying it only itches a little. The problem was that he still needed 70% experience to reach the next realm, and he wanted to hit it today. He keeps moving forward when a golden horn beast appears ahead, destroying everything. The thing charges, but the protagonist once again just slides the blade through its mouth, and it gets completely sliced apart. But when he looks back, something is dragging the rhino body away. away. He freezes for a second, thinking who is stealing my loot. The thing pulls it toward what looks like a cave, and he jumps in without thinking twice. Inside, there are many creatures wrapped in webs hanging around, and at the back, the boss is staring at him. It swings straight for his neck, but he blocks without even looking. When he turns around, he sees a giant spider with golden legs and thinks this looks rare. If golden armor sells for that much, these legs must be worth a fortune. The spider attacks, and he defends awkwardly until he gets hit by webbing across the chest and is completely stuck. Then venom hits his leg and he drops unconscious. You were poisoned by the tarantula. You are suffering neural damage and entering a frenzy state. He was already crazy, and now green drool is dripping from his mouth. He rips the web apart and glares at the spider, which cannot understand how the kid broke free. Yi Chuan charges, fighting its legs, smashing them while foaming at the mouth. The spider panics and tries to flee the cave. It runs for the exit, but now the protagonist is pulling it back with its own web. He drags it close, slices it in half, and completely loses control before collapsing as it dies. Because it was a boss, he gains massive experience and reaches Danguotang rank, gaining 100 strength, agility, and spirit. His power basically triples. Sometime later, he is cooking spider legs, completely confused. Why do I feel so tired? He ranked up and woke up next to a dead spider, and none of it makes sense. While he is eating, suddenly a voice appears. Hey kid, you grew again. I told you before you were skinny and now you are huge. She presses close, saying he smells amazing, and asks if she can take a bite. Our boy Ye Chuan is not right in the head. He turns away while she is staring at him. Any man who looks into my eyes is under my command. She thinks now he will be a good little boy and act like my pet, but she does not know she is talking to a hospital patient who says if you want to eat, go hunt. There is not even enough for me. She stands there confused. Wait, why is he disobeying me? Maybe because he has a pig head with a snake arm. What a terrible combination. While Yi Chuan is looking to the side, wondering why this pig girl has horns, such a weird thing, she smiles and says, it is fine, you do not have to share, but I want to ask you something. He speaks with a full mouth. What is it? Say it, she asks. Have you, by any chance, seen a certain crystal twin flower around here? I have been cultivating those items for decades, and my pet that was protecting it was killed. She moves closer. Do you know who did it? You bastard. Yi Chuan taps his chest. Wait, I think that was me. Was it not? She is red and seductive. Trying to see if it was really him, he lies and says no. I do not like hunting. It is boring, she thinks. But he is eating something. He just hunted, he says. As far as I know, that flower was stolen by a famous and despicable human named Liu Xing. He is the one who killed your little snake. I even told him, how could you kill such a cute little snake? But he did not listen and still did it. She smiles and says, fine then, I will go find him, and leaves, but suddenly turns back, thinking he must think I am stupid. She clearly recognizes his scent. She already found him. Yi Chuan says, if you knew it was me, then it is why. Our fault, you forced me to lie. She says, why are you acting like the victim here? Her patience is running out, her aura activates, and the protagonist stands tall. She says, now tell me where my flower is, or I will strangle you to death. But Yi Chuan releases the blood moon, killing aura, and in the same second, she sees herself dressed and tied on a board about to be cut. She is shaking and cannot react, and he is already gone, saying he will leave her a spider leg as payment for the fresh flower, but she shoots after him like a bullet. Yi Chuan thinks I better run or I will have to use that technique she keeps chasing, and suddenly a monkey pig gorilla monster jumps out from the trees and tries to slap Yi Chuan. He dodges, wonders where this hairy thing came from. The girl rushes straight at the beast, orders it to move, and spins past it, slashing its neck, leaving her aura behind, and drives her hand into the back of its head, and in the same instant, the beast falls drooling on the ground. She looks to the side and sees Yi Chuan waiting with his blade ready. She recognizes the technique he is about to use and throws her arm up and casts the falling star. She starts sweating cold, thinking this is impossible. No one should know. This technique, maybe he is bluffing, but if he really knows it, she will die. Suddenly, someone calls out for Uncle Qian, and a group arrives from the other side of the forest, saying something is happening ahead. Yi Chuan and the snake lady sense it and look over. A lot of healers are coming. 2, I want dead, and 1 I want alive. She says, I did not expect you to have this kind of help. Why? I just lured me here. I will remember this, and flies away, thinking at least I have an excuse to leave that technique. Yi Chuan stands there thinking, okay then. Meanwhile, the white stocking queen is staring at him. The hammer guy says, Miss Jiang is this, not the wind fire monkey. It escaped from us and called this kid here. Yi Chuan says awkwardly, I do not know. I was just passing by. It is already lying there. The girl asks his name, and Yi Chuan realizes she wants to blame him, but she will not believe any explanation. He starts to say, my name is Yi Chuan and I will explain, but she interrupts, invites him to the Nine Heavens Alliance. While she is seducing him, a strange guy stares at him in the city. There are the Shi Alliance, the Thunder Alliance, and the Nine Heavens Alliance, and once again he is getting involved with a major power of Qing Cheng. The bearded man cannot believe he killed this beast so easily and says, my friend, come and join us. It is good for everyone. You will not regret it. Yi Chuan thinks that Snake Woman is terrifying. This beast must have been strong since everyone is reacting like this. The white stocking girl calls him again, saying they want him to join because they are going to hunt the Flaming Blade King, and they need strong fighters. Yi Chuan asks, "Who is that? I have no idea." She is confused. How does he not know everyone in combat has heard of him? She explains. He is one of the few creatures that broke through the lower ranks and reached the king rank. A true monarch, Yi Chuan says that is impressive. But what is the reward for killing him, the cheap? Kakashi says, "Girl, why? I'll really know nothing by defeating a king-level expert. You gain their title and their realm, and this is not something any trash can take part in." Yi Chuan thinks, does that mean I can become very strong overnight? Then he says, fine, I will. Join the Nine Heavens Alliance. She moves closer, still blushing, and says, great, now we are closer to success. The bandana guy thinks this kid is really naive. At the same time, the old man pulls out a knife and starts cutting the beast. Yi Chuan asks if they are going to skin it, and the girl says yes to get close to the Flaming Blade King. They need armor made from this beast's skin because it resists heat. They were about to start when it escaped, but luckily, he helped them. Yi Chuan says, relax, skinning is my specialty. Why is she so red? What kind of fetish is this? She asks if he is really good, and he says he is not just good, he is a professional. He jumps onto the beast, draws his blade, and in a rapid sequence of cuts, 1 minute later, only the giant corpse remains on the ground with the skin perfectly stretched. The man says, damn, this is truly professional, and the white stocking girl is shocked by his talent. And right after that, they are already moving through the forest again. The bearded guy says, Jiang, now that we have the skin, we need to go back and forge some fire-resistant armor, and then we will be ready. This time, we will wipe everyone out and take the king's inheritance. But at that moment, someone approaches a trio standing nearby, an older guy with an Esports team logo on his chest with a little lion. Jiang recognizes them instantly. They are from the Lion Thunder Alliance. The scarred one speaks first. Miss Jiang, you will have to share some of that monkey skin with us. She immediately realizes, so you already knew our plan and we're just waiting. The guy pulls out a knife, saying she is sharper than he expected, and if that is the case, she already knows what happens if they do not hand it over. The bearded guy warns they are bold, but his hammer does not forgive. Meanwhile, Temu Kakashi tells everyone to stay calm, hand over the skin, and later we bring reinforcements. Something about this guy feels suspicious. The musclehead throws the skin, but Yi Chuan catches it in midair. The human panics and tells Yi Chuan to hand it over, but Yi Chuan says, no way, I skinned it, I killed it, it is all mine. Kakashi is shocked. Jiang is clearly unhappy. The scarred one laughs, saying, looks like the Nine Heavens Alliance is not very united. Jiang is furious at Jian. This bastard is betraying us. He handed the monkey over instantly, and now she demands to know why he is betraying the alliance. Desperate, Jian says handing it over is the smartest move. The real traitor is that kid. But looking at Yi Chuan's face, no one thinks he is scheming much. The bearded guy steps forward, swinging his hammer, saying, Jian's time in the alliance is over. Jian dodges and reveals he was bought by the Lion Alliance. Since the reward there is much better, he tells Lord Lei, we have to kill them all. The flay. Bearded guy charges, saying he knew they were traitors. Jian mocks him, saying with his speed, the hammer will never touch him. Lord Lei throws his hammer up and sends the attack aside, then orders K, kill that kid and bring me the hide. The bearded guy is stunned. His hammer was deflected. How did he block an attack from a second stage master? Lei says he came prepared to kill everyone, and no one leaves alive today. The bearded guy attacks and defends with the hammer handle, confused by the movement, while Jian draws his sword and rushes Yi Chuan, but is forced to leap back. Dodging Jiang's Moonblade sequence, they order the backline to attack Jiang and stop her from using her instrument spells, and powers fly toward her, but she plays and shatters everything midair. She worries Yi Chuan cannot defeat Jian. Jian advances, saying her biggest mistake was hiring trash like him, and now she will. Pei Jiang screams Yi Chuan, but at that instant, Yi Chuan releases the demonic aura, and Jian freezes Blood Shadow level 3. Activated, Yi Chuan slashes Jian's hand, then uses Shadow Step to vanish. Jian turns, saying the trash will not escape, but suddenly Yi Chuan appears using the beast hide as protection. Jian cannot cut through it, and then his leg is sliced. He falls, screaming that Yi Chuan is fighting dirty. Yi Chuan steps close, gripping his face, saying there is nowhere left to run. Jiang is in shock. How can a kid in such a low realm fight Jia Wan alone? His combat profession must be god tier. She continues, her notes crushing the other two, then calls for Yi Chuan. Yi Chuan looks over and sees the bearded guy suffering under Lord Lei. Lightning surges through the weapon, electrocuting him. Yi Chuan realizes he must kill the leader first. That is the only way to win. The bearded guy drops to his knees as Lei approaches, saying the realm gap is like heaven and earth. He never stood a chance within the Thunderweb domain. His body will soon lose all movement until death. Goodbye. But suddenly, Yi Chuan appears behind him, calling out. Lei turns and is struck by the blood moon. He sees himself screaming like a dying pig. Yi Chuan gripping his arm. What is happening? He bites his tongue and snaps awake, blocking the follow-up attack. Now he is horrified. The only way this kid could affect his mind is with a god-level ability. This kid from the Nine Heavens is extremely dangerous. He cannot leave alive. The bearded guy yells, Ye Chuan, run, you cannot win. The realms are too far apart. Lei attacks, saying there is no escape, and kicks Ye Chuan hard in the chest, sending him flying. He says, with my realm, that kick should have killed you, but Ye Chuan lies on the ground, smiling. The bearded guy realizes the kid used his life to buy him one moment. The hammer aura explodes as he charges, vowing to make that sacrifice count, unleashing a mountain-crushing smash. But Lei counters with lightning, and the bearded guy falls again, completely useless. Honestly, Lei approaches again as the bearded guy warns him. He will regret this. He should know where Miss Jiang comes from. He can kill him. But if he touches her, the whole alliance will hunt him. Lei laughs, saying these trash cannot compare to the Lion Alliance, and they will not kill Miss Jiang. It will be fun keeping her around. The bearded guy screams, only over my dead body, when another attack hits Lei from behind, and this one lands clean. Yichuan used Falling Star, completely wrecking Lei's armor. The bearded guy is stunned. Lei is devastated, not understanding what curse technique was used. Yichuan celebrates that expensive armor he bought for 150,000 saved him from that kick. Without it, he might really be dead. He laughs and says, idiot, I played dead to catch you while you attack. The bearded guy realizes Yichuan may look dumb, but his combat instincts and battle sense are far beyond his realm. Only by pretending to die could he get the chance to use that technique, and he planned it perfectly. Lord Lei realizes he cannot win this fight and says he will remember this bastard before escaping by leaping through the trees. The protagonist has chased off the last two. Everyone survives, but everyone takes a beating. The bearded guy is shocked. He really ran away, kid. The protagonist collapses, and the bearded guy rushes to catch him. White stocking lady runs over, asking if they are all right, but the bearded guy answers, Miss Jiang, you truly have an incredible eye for talent. This kid saved me at a critical moment and even drove off that bastard. Lei looking at the unconscious Yichuan, he shouts, brother, I owe you my life. Jiang slaps him, telling him to stop acting like an idiot. But inside, she is shaken. How did this kid force someone none of them could defeat to flee, especially when he is still in the early ranks and has barely awakened? At that moment, a hand twitches on the ground. It is Jia Wan pretending to know nothing. The hammer slams down in front of him. Now it is your turn. He starts making excuses, saying his wife is pregnant, his mother is sick, his grandmother is dying, and his child is not even born yet, but will need help. He is good at excuses. But the bearded guy tells him not to worry. He will take care of his wife every night. Jia Wan screams no, and meets a tragic end with that sentence afterward. The bearded guy tells Miss Jiang they should leave quickly before another ambush. She says to relax, she already sent a flare, and the alliance will arrive soon. She takes out 2 high-grade recovery pills for the boys. Yichuan knows each one costs 50,000. This alliance clearly has money. They both take them, and Yichuan remembers the kick to his chest. Strangely, he asks Miss Jiang about that sonic attack she used on the Lion Alliance, and if she can use it on him too. She is confused, asking if he wants her to use his sound wave attack on him to train. He agrees, explaining that Shadow Step is a scroll skill and must be improved through practice. It is his only movement skill, and if he faces another expert head-on next time, he might die. Jiang hesitates, saying, Yichuan, you helped me a lot, but my realm is far above yours. If I am careless, I could kill you. He tells her not to worry and stands ready. She agrees while the bearded guy thinks this. Kid is unbelievable. He just survived a brutal fight and now wants to train against someone at an absurd level. Against enemies, she only uses 3 waves, but against Yichuan, she shines, unleashing countless star-like notes. The attack rushes toward Yichuan, and he activates Shadow Step, leaping aside instantly, looking just like Sung Jinwoo, saying he can take more, and she should use more force. She gets annoyed, saying Soundwave skills are her specialty, and he cannot dodge everything. She sends 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, then 9, then 10 notes. Yichuan dodges one, slips between 2 rolls under another, and slides past the last. She draws a bow and unleashes a barrage. The bearded guy is stunned. Miss Jiang is taking this far too seriously. Yichuan could get hurt, but Yichuan focuses, jumping over, ducking under, weaving through 13, 14, 18, 19. Getting closer, one strikes his chest blade from behind, forces him back, and he cannot reach her. But he is enjoying it, saying the feeling is incredible. The system upgrades Shadow Step to level 2 now at 40% speed. Jiang prepares another volley, but the bearded guy asks her to wait. The team is arriving. The alliance members apologize for being late. Jiang says it is fine enough. Trouble. It is time to head back. The bearded guy carries the beast leg and wait. Zoom in editor. Where are her stockings? Hey artists, do not think I missed that detail. Yichuan awkwardly says, you can go. I have something to take care of. Jiang agrees, but tells him to be careful, and when he returns, he should come to the Nine Heavens Alliance because she prepared something good for him. He waves goodbye and runs back through the forest, searching for the spider treasure. He finds the golden leg torso and laughs. His golden armor was destroyed. so these legs will sell well to buy a new one. He expected the snake lady to appear, but instead, the scene shifts to him returning home. When he opens the door, the entire place is destroyed. He drops the bag in shock, but his father is extremely strong. So what happened? Seeing the broken frames, he knows it was Liu Xing. Where did that bastard take his family? The scene shifts to Qingcheng District of Wealth Distribution. A guard tells him this is private property, no trespassing. Yi Xuan releases his aura telling him to move. The guards panic. The scene shifts to a pool where Jinglong is enjoying life, while the son holds a massive sword. Jinglong says, "When I find Yi Xuan, I will finish him." A door suddenly flies in, crushing him. He hits the ground, coughing blood, nearly dead, wondering what explosion that was. Liu Xing stands, demanding to know who kicked in his door, and then he sees Yi Xuan staring him down, radiating fury. Jing says, "Yi Xuan, I wanted to kill you, but my men vanished. Was that you?" Yi Xuan tells him to shut up and say where his family is. Xing laughs, saying, "When a child strays from the proper path, the parents must pay the price, and he will take revenge on the kid too." Something feels off. Jinglong saw his father return earlier after going to get Yi Chuan's parents, and he looks scared. Clearly, someone else is involved. Yi Chuan says his parents are his reverse scale. Touch them and you die. Xing laughs, but is punched in the mouth and blasted into the wall. The father is shocked that aura is from a higher realm. What is happening? Good thing I advanced recently. It will be easy to suppress this kid. He activates armor around his body, saying the boy is insane to challenge him. That armor is ugly as hell. Seriously, stone armor kills agility, but gives 40% defense against blades. Jinglong is still stuck under the door. How can you not lift a door? He keeps talking, saying, "You forced my father to use his skill, which means you are dead." Xing throws a punch. Yi Xuan watches the palm, activates Shadow Step, slips past, the fist appears behind him, strikes the neck, but stone is hard to cut, and he takes another heavy kick to the chest, slamming into the says. Ground Xing walks closer, saying, "Stupid kid, you need to know when the road ahead cannot be crossed. You cannot break this defense, and one punch will kill you." But Yi Xuan is still standing because damage from pigs is reduced by 65%. People forget he also has solid defense. Xing is confused. That was a full power hit straight to the chest with no guard. Something does not add up. Yi Xuan clenches his fist and says if he cannot cut the armor, he will break it like this. Xing spreads his arms, telling him to try smashing flesh against stone armor. But then he realizes that is exactly what Yi Xuan wants. Yi Xuan steps in and lands a brutal hook to the stomach. Damage against pigs. Boosted by 500%, the armor explodes. Xing panics, asking why his hand is like a cannon. Yi Xuan does not stop, punches, the jaw shatters the rest of the armor, knocks out several teeth, activates the blood moon threat. The pig is frozen in shock. Yi Xuan unleashes a barrage, screaming, asking where his parents are. Jinglong starts panicking at this rate. His father will die. He wants to help, but his body is shaking. His legs will not move. If he tries, he will die. He is being suppressed by the blood moon aura. All he can do is beg Yi Xuan to stop. Yi Xuan refuses, saying he will not stop until he is told where his parents are. Xing finally breaks, saying he went to the house to collect his million. But when he arrived, 3 tall men in black were already inside. He does not know who they were. Yi Xuan calls him a liar, but Xing looks genuine, begging, saying Yi Xuan's father was fighting them, but he truly does not know who they were. Flashback to the house. Xing arrives. Chu Yuan is speaking to the men in black. One of them looks at him. With a single stare, Yuan collapses insta. NTE unconscious. Yi Xuan says, "This makes no sense. How can this be proven?" Xing struggles up, saying, "Wait, when I left, I found this a letter your parents left for you." Yi Xuan opens it and reads, "Yi Xuan, I always wanted us to live an ordinary life. But when you said you saw everyone as pigs, I knew fate was playing with us, your mother, and I can no longer stay by your side. From now on, you must walk your own path. We believe in you because you were always a smart child. Do not try to find us. You are not strong enough yet, and you stand no chance against them. As long as you live freely and happily, that is enough." Yi Xuan starts crying. Real, honest tears. He recognizes his father's handwriting. It could not be anyone else. Scene shifts to Yuan telling his wife not to be afraid. The boy will build his own path if he has a chance to reach the highest peak. Then as his father, he will build the road ahead, and if one day the sun reaches the summit, they will meet. Again, he left the letter, and now back in the present, Yi Xuan walks away from the house. Jinglong watches from behind, goes to his father and swears one day he will avenge him. His father snaps back, saying, "If I cannot beat that kid, what do? You think you can do it is fine. I will make him pay myself." He grabs his phone and calls his cousin. This family always has connections, and this time the guy is with 2 dangerous women. Xing says he needs help because someone almost killed him. The The cousin asks who did it. Sing answers a pig slayer. Named Yi Chuan, the cousin pauses a pig slayer, then laughs, saying, "Fine cousin, together, we will crush this kid M." Meanwhile, Ye Chuan is home fixing the picture of his parents, saying he does not know where they are, but he will find them walking away. He knows a single look from those men in black knocks Sing unconscious. Their strength is beyond comprehension. Why are my parents involved with people like that? If I want to find them, I must become stronger, and that path is the Nine Heavens Alliance. He passes by the Iron Heart Forge, and the butcher calls out, "Hey kid, the blade's still working." Yi Chuan says, "Yes." The man asks, "What are you carrying?" Yi Chuan drops the golden spider legs on the ground. The butcher recognizes them instantly. "Wait, is that what I think it is?" Yi Chuan says, "The golden poison spider." The man is shocked, saying, "This is extremely valuable. With this I can enchant your blade." Yi Chuan asks how he explains the spider has poison and gold properties. If he extracts one, he can refine it into the blade, giving it an extra effect. Yi Chuan asks why not both. Tai Sin laughs, tells him to keep dreaming. Extracting one attribute is already rare. Refining is extremely hard. Adding a second will erase the first. Do not be greedy. Choose poison or gold. Yi Chuan chooses gold because it will sell for more. Tai Sin nods, saying, "You are not as dumb as you look." He throws the gold into the furnace. It melts, flows bright, molten gold pours onto the blade. Hammer strikes ring out, and minutes later, the blade shines fully golden. Tai Sin says, "Kid, you are lucky. If someone else asked for this, it would cost 500,000. But today, it is free." Yi Chuan thinks, "Well, thanks. I do not know why, but I will take it," as he feels the blade. Now its second point is insanely heavy. He asks, "Hey master, the blade looks great, but what is the effect?" Taishin explains every enchantment activates after a certain number of attacks, and gold usually creates critical hits. Ye Chuan says, "Wow, critical hits, that sounds good. With the system talent's crit on top of crit should be crazy strong." He grips the blade tight and unleashes a cutting combo, but nothing seems to happen, and he feels exhausted with no visible effect. Then the system shows the enchantment was successful, and now after 9 strikes, the 10th always deals 200% damage, and the faster it triggers, the stronger the crit, and the sooner it activates. He thanks him, saying, "Master, if you ever need help, I will not refuse." The pig waves him off, saying, "Kid, that is enough now. Go. I have done all I can for you." I do not know if this pig is honest or shady. Why did he do it for free? I do not trust anyone in this world. Soon, Yi Chuan arrives at what looks like the base of the Nine Heavens Alliance. The principal is standing there asking, "Hey Yi Chuan, what are you doing here?" Yi Chuan asks the same, and the principal says, "I am here to recommend some academy students to the Alliance. You know, any student who joins this place brings great honor to the school." Yi Chuan says that is awesome, but the principal apologizes, saying, "I cannot recommend you since you do not have a combat profession, and they are not really accepting anyone this year. Even Ling Xuan was rejected despite her amazing talent. This alliance has an extremely high bar. So what are you doing here?" Yi Chuan Li is saying, "I am using their mountain for weight training." The old man looks him over weight training. "It seems you have hit the growth limit of your class, but that is fine. Give up combat and focus on raising pigs. It suits you better." Yi Chuan agrees, saying, "True, I will keep killing pigs since it is better for me." As Yi Chuan walks past, the principal feels something strange, turns and asks, "Yi Chuan, what realm are you at right now?" Yi Chuan answers something like nearing the Lake Ascent rank. The principal is stunned. "Wait, you are no longer in the beginner ranks. Something is wrong." Even Ling Xuan, who grows incredibly fast, is still an apprentice. Ranks even lifestyle classes. Leveling this fast is abnormal for that to happen. He would have had to kill around 100,000 pigs. This kid is unbelievable. Yi Chuan tries to leave, but now the principal asks if he wants to join the school tournament. Yi Chuan is confused, asking what tournament is not that. Only for elite combat professions. The principal excitedly says yes. Someone of your level can qualify since there is an open slot. Jing Long was injured somewhere and cannot compete. Yi Chuan thinks of the door to the face. The principal continues, saying Ling Xuan is guaranteed to win, but you could also perform well, especially in the team competition. If you support her, they could finally improve the school reputation, which is currently the worst. They are not even on the honor list, barely getting participation rewards. Yi Chuan wipes his face and asks, "What does this have to do with me?" The principal puts a hand on his shoulder and says, "Kid, if you participate, I guarantee you one request." Ye Chuan thinks, then says, "I want 500,000. The principal agrees, saying, "If you reach top 3, that is no problem," thinking top 3 is impossible since they do not even have a full combat team, so he will not need to pay. Yi Chuan adds he also wants a spiritual storage item. The principal calls him greedy, saying those are among the top rewards. Yi Chuan says, "Forget it, then I will not participate." The principal grabs his arm, saying, "Wait, fine, if you reach top 3, you get the item too." Yi Chuan thanks him and walks away, while the principal leaves convinced he will not have to pay anything. At the gate of the Nine Heavens Alliance, a muscular guard asks, "Hey kid, what are you doing here?" Yi Chuan says, "My name is Yi Chuan. I am here to see Miss Jiang." He laughs, saying like you have a date with Miss Jiang. Then the gate opens. She appears casually, saying she was waiting for him, grabs his arm saying, "Yi Chuan, I was waiting for you. I will show you around the alliance." The guard is stunned, asking who is this kid. As they walk through the courtyard, she explains the south tower is residential, the north tower is for services, the east tower is dining, the northwest and west are training areas. Yi Chuan is impressed, saying, "The place is incredible." She tells him to hurry because she wants to register him. A heavy hand lands on his shoulder. It is the bearded guy, saying he missed the kid and he finally arrived. He says he will take Yi Chuan to the north wing with the massage rooms. He will love it. Jiang slaps him hard, clearly jealous, and tells him not to corrupt the kids. Mind the bearded guy walks off, saying she does not understand the needs of men. They arrive at the north tower, which suddenly looks ultra-modern. A receptionist in a suit asks if Miss Jiang personally brought this person. Jiang orders her to issue a black card for the kid. The receptionist hesitates, saying a black card is the highest level. Can we really give it to a newcomer? Jiang orders her to comply, and she asks Yi Chuan for his info shortly after he officially becomes an advanced member of the Nine Heavens Alliance. Yi Chuan is shocked, asking, "Why am I getting a black card?" Jiang explains members rely on contribution points and you need at least 1,000 for one. He notes it seems rare. She says, "Since I personally recruited you and you made a huge contribution in that fight, I decided you deserved it." She clings to him, saying she is excited for what he can offer, though with that pig face, the charm disappears instantly. Then the bearded guy interrupts, saying, "Miss Jiang, I need to speak with you." While she is standing there all shy, the protagonist is red too. What is this if you see the whole world as pigs? At some point, you probably stop caring much. The bearded guy starts tossing a pile of items to Yi Chuan, saying these are his rewards specially prepared by Jiang, way more luxurious than what anyone else gets when joining Ye. Chuan feels awkward and thanks them. She then says she will take him to the residential area. But they are in the nether zone, which feels strange because she said the residential area was in the south towers and right in front of them there is a strang. Hot spring. She says he was injured in the last battle. Right, so how about letting his body recover? And she is already ready for the bath. Yi Chuan does not care at all, takes off his shirt and steps into the spring. She senses something moves closer, saying he has new injuries. What happened last night? He sinks deeper into the water, saying he got into an accident and she does not need to worry. But Jiang keeps talking, saying she really has to thank him. If he had not been there, they would have been robbed. The monkey hide lost and the bearded guy might have died. Her charm clearly is not working because Yi Chuan is thinking if she wants to thank me, she should stay far away from me. She tells him to open the box. Inside is a cultivation item that will make the spring even stronger. He opens it and finds a strange black pill. She tells him to eat it, saying it will make him stronger, tougher, and faster. He has no idea what it is. While she thinks that description sounds exactly like a pig aphrodisiac. Wait, what is this? She sticks her tongue out, saying he will understand once he eats it. Yi Chuan tosses it into his mouth, says it tastes good, but instantly feels something. The whole place turns purple. His aura expands and he asks what is happening. She explains is a pill refined by the top alchemists of the Alliance only. One is made every 6 months. It permanently strengthens the body and constitution, massively boosting attributes. Yi Chuan is stunned because it really gives him 20 points to every stat. Was that not an aphrodisiac? What just happened? At the same time, he opens the scroll that grants the golden bell passive, is always active and blocks one fatal hit after breaking. It cannot activate again for 12 hours. The item fades as inscriptions appear on his body. Jiang, who was pink before now dressed in white, says, since his golden armor was destroyed in the last fight, this is compensation. Yi Chuan is confused, saying she's being too generous. He does not know how he can repay her. She stands to the side, posing, saying, it takes at least half a month to forge that armor. When the time comes, he will have to go with them too. Challenge. The Flaming Blade King, Yi Chuan agrees, but asks how many people they have and what the success chance is. She says currently less than 10%. He says that makes no sense. Why even do it? Then does everyone want to die? And also, she is not the leader, so why take such a huge risk? She says exactly because she is the daughter of the Alliance head. She must go personally. She does not want to live forever in her father's shadow, and that is why she chooses to take this risk. Everyone in the Alliance says it is tragic. The leader only has one daughter, that she is stupid and shameful and does not deserve to lead. Yi Chuan remembers Jiao Wan mocking her as weak and clueless, and now he understands even as the leader's daughter, people still doubt her. She asks if he is afraid. He says his parents taught him that if you promise something, you must keep it. She squints, saying he is a good boy and it is a pity he is still a virgin. She moves closer, clinging to him, saying if they die, maybe he should not die with regrets. He pushes her away, saying he guarantees today is not the day he dies. He has too many important things to do. She stands there stunned that she was actually pushed away. Yi Chuan opens the door and the bearded guy is standing there listening. Jiang asks what Uncle Qian is doing there. Embarrassed, he says nothing. I just wanted to use the spring too to heal my injuries. Yi Chuan stops him saying, wait uncle, have a favor. Can you be my training partner? Qian lights up saying that is smart. Let's train together and get stronger as he leaves. Jiang is excited saying she finally made the perfect bet. This boy has limitless potential. Scene shifts to the Eastern training grounds facing Qian. Ye Chuan knows only by becoming stronger can he see his parents again. He asks them to hold on a little longer. He draws his enchanted blade, tells Qian he will not hold back. Qian grips. His hammer says, perfect. I will take this seriously too. Yi Chuan locks eyes and 9 days pass. The tall shorts girl watches, stunned. These two look possessed, but she realizes she can rely on both. Yi Chuan launches a cutting sequence. Qian blocks, but realizes he must move faster. His weapon starts bending. He sees an opening, swings from the side, but Yi Chuan leaps, activating Blessed Falling Star. They collide midair. The hammer cracks the Golden Bell defense, but Yi Chuan presses forward, striking down. Qian braces. The blade nearly breaks his hammer. The fight is even better than the forest battle. Everyone in the alliance is shocked. This kid just arrived and is fighting Qian evenly. How is this possible? Qian blocks, but his back area is destroyed. His hammer is fully cracked. He laughs, saying enough, he cannot play anymore. He needs a new weapon. Yi Chuan apologizes, saying sadly his wallet is empty. He cannot pay. Jiang calls them from afar, telling them to come eat. As she walks by with huge shorts, everyone stares. Qian mutters that his strongest spiritual weapon was destroyed and something is very wrong with this kid. Yi Chuan wonders what delicious food she brought today, and now he has 140 in every attribute. The weapon crits on the 9th hit for 220%, and Shadow Step is level 3 with 50% speed. The old man complains, saying, Miss Jiang, my weapon was destroyed by this kid. What am I supposed to do now? How am I going to fight? She tells him to stop whining about nonsense later. He can just go to the guild warehouse and grab another one. Whatever works, the important thing now is eating this Google Images banquet. They both start eating like crazy, and she is excited. This kid is getting strong. At this rate, they might actually have a chance in that fight. While eating, Yi Chuan says that tomorrow he is heading out. Both of them ask where he is going and what he plans to do. He taps his chest, saying he promised the school principal he would participate in something and he will be back soon. So, they do not need to worry. Chiang grabs the kid's arm, saying he better come back soon because every day they train together, he likes him more. If he wants, he can even skip tomorrow and keep training. But Jiang smacks him on the head, telling him to stop making Yi Chuan uncomfortable. He already said he is going and that is final. She clings to Yi Chuan, telling him to be careful out there and saying she is looking forward to his return, and with that he leaves the alliance. Qian asks Miss Jiang, that kid has strength that is hard to compare. If we take him to that place, what do you think will happen? She answers that if they come back alive from the mission, it will be worth taking him there. Meanwhile, we arrive. At the school, a group is standing around when a big-headed girl turns back, saying she has arrived. It is her Xu Lingxuan, the childhood friend who honestly, after so many Jiangs running around, kind of lost her charm. She glances to the side and sees Ye Chuan standing there and thinks, why is this kid here? Her friend mocks him, saying, Ye Chuan, you came again, using your stupid tricks to get close to Sister Ling. He punches the wall and tells her to get out of his way. She jumps back, shocked, calling him a clown, always trying to get attention. Everyone stares at the destruction. She runs to Ling Xuan, saying he is scaring her. Ling Xuan steps forward, saying, Yi Chuan, how many times have I told you to stop trying to stand out around me? It is useless. He slams attacks into the ground, destroying everything around him, closes his eyes, uninterested, and says, the principal asked me to join the tournament. This has nothing to do with you. She is stunned, saying, wait, the principal asked, that is? Weird, does he know Ye Chuan is a useless loser? Did he go crazy? She quotes a saying, mocking him, saying it is ridiculous for a firefly to stand next to a bright moon, calling him weak. But then the principal appears, saying, calm down, girl, I invited Mr. Ye Chuan. Please fight together and put aside rivalry for the school's honor, she snaps, asking how she can have such a filthy ally. The principal cluelessly says, the more stupid things he does next to you, the better you will look. Everyone will be impressed. She pauses, then agrees, saying, fine. Since Brother Jinglong is injured and cannot participate, at least do not get in my way. Yi Chuan and storms off. The principal reminds Yi Chuan not to forget their deal. Only top 3 gets the reward. Yi Chuan nods, fine. Then they arrive at the arena where preliminaries will be held ever. Yon is registered, and the rules are simple. Draw numbers, fight the corresponding opponent. If you win, you stay and challenge the next. In the end, rankings are decided by total wins, and the last 4 standing enter the final round. Students from the same school will not fight each other. Someone sighs in relief, saying, at least I will not fight Sister Ling Xuan. The principal adds losers, get one more chance to challenge someone else. But 2 losses means elimination. A plainly dressed girl says not to worry. Ling Xuan already secured victory while looking at Yi Chuan, saying it will be funny watching him embarrass himself in such a huge stadium. Now we are in the stadium, blazing lights like the sun, an idol. Welcoming everyone this year, multiple schools from Qingcheng to Lingyun are participating. This will decide many futures. The main spectators are teachers, academy, elites, and that one on the right caught my attention. Ling Xuan thinks she was already chosen by the Heavenly Treasure Academy. All she needs is not to disappoint them. The idol announces the first rounds begin. First match. Yi Chuan Pig Slayer versus Lu Kai Shadow Thunder Spear Cultivator. The whole stadium erupts in anger. People shout, "Why is there a butcher in arena?" 4. An old lady says, "This is not being taken seriously." Teachers whisper, "This is the first time a school sent a lifestyle profession competitor. Qingcheng must be desperate." One female teacher defends him, saying Professor Qian should not say that she recently recruited an extremely talented person from Qingcheng. Qian laughs, saying schools are a mix of fish and dragon's noth. In compares to true Yankai, where everyone is elite, the director sweats cold, praying Yi Chuan does not disgrace them on the arena. Lu Kai thanks Yi Chuan, saying, "Thanks. Man, I did not expect a free win. I will treat you to barbecue after Yi." Chuan smiles and says, "Thanks, you seem like a nice guy." The judge raises his arm. Arena 4. First match begin. The Xiaxuan school director mocks Qingcheng, asking if they are out of people sending a butcher. She adds, she senses something different about his aura. Old Chongwei laughs, saying, "Yes, his aura is different. Everyone has a combat profession, while he has a lifestyle one." The principal is sweating, begging Ye Chuan not to disappoint him. Lu Kai shows off his thunder spear attacks, dazzling the crowd, boasting he reached apprentice rank 8, and the fight will be easy, so he will entertain the audience a bit. Yi Chuan nods and says, "Wow, your spear skills are really cool." And the judge puts a hand on the guy's shoulder, telling him to stop showing off and start the fight already. The guy steadies himself, says sorry to Yi Chuan, and says, "This will end fast." He thrusts hard, almost hitting Yi Chuan's face, but Yi Chuan simply dodges. "Let's be honest, you tried to kill him, so you earned what comes next." One punch straight to the jaw, boon, half the jaw gone, teeth flying, body smashed into the ground. Finished, the judge announces. Yi Chuan wins, and the crowd just freezes, completely confused. The principal blurts out, "What do you think, huh? This is my pig butcher. But he is god tier. He will definitely not be strong in the future," which somehow sounds like praise and insult to the same time, but right now he can crush ordinary people. "I already hate this guy too." The others are sweating, saying, "Yeah, he really is not normal." Professor Chin looks stunned, saying, "Wait, he is a butcher. What a waste. If he had a combat profession, he would be top tier." He replays the fight in his head. The movements were smooth like water. The spear looked slow, and the punch did not even use 10% strength, even without a combat profession. This kid is dangerous. The female professor remembers Ling Xuan complaining about some Ye Chuan bothering her. "So this is him," she snorts and says, "Throughout history, many tried to defy fate with lifestyle professions and all failed. He is just an idiot who thinks he matters." Professor Chin does not need to worry about him. "Congratulations, you just lost all your charm. Now I want Yi Chuan to humiliate that entire school." Next fight, Xia Gigi Fire Cloud Mage versus our boy. The guy walks in flames, dancing in his hand, asking what Yi Chuan plans to do. Yi Chuan just stares fascinated, asking how his hand is not burning. "That is amazing." The guy snaps, telling him to stop acting stupid. He has no idea how dangerous these flames are. Up in the stands, Chongwei laughs, saying, "Old Zhao looks like the farce ends here. My student is apprentice rank 9 with an incredible magic class." Director Zhao calmly replies, "Yi Chuan is already above that. He is not even in the apprentice ranks anymore." Chongwei calls it impossible until he looks back at the arena and realizes his own student is already unconscious, and he did not even see what happened. Something is very wrong. How co? Old Yi Chuan awakened this year. Meanwhile, Ling Xuan is casually crushing her opponent in another arena. Zhao mutters, "At this pace, Qingcheng will secure at least 2 in the top 3. This year will be good." Ling Xuan glances over, saying, "Yi Chuan, you are really lucky facing these useless people, and even luckier I am not allowed to end you." Xi Xuan interrupts, telling Zhao not to celebrate yet. Look at what just happened. Her mage is about to face Ling Xuan. A tiny girl walks into the arena, asking the big sister to go easy. Ling Xuan coldly tells her not to expect kindness just because she is a child. Zhao questions if this is even allowed. She does not look 18. Xia Xuan says she guarantees the girl is older and warns him not to underestimate Weiner. She is one of this year's prodigies. The big-headed girl just stares ahead, saying she is definitely getting likes on this video. That helps Mamoru make more juicy content for his viewers. Activate the cheeky little bell, and I am out.